What's up, Dunkers and Dunkettes? It's Wayne Duncan, No Vision Duncan, and we're here with our first college football 25 video. We're going to be doing a realistic rebuild. This is as real as it gets when it comes to realistic. Now, I am more of an NFL head, but when I was a little bit younger, I was into college football a little bit more. Um, I was playing NCAA like '04, the one with Reggie Bush on the cover, all the time, doing Dynasty, doing Road to Glory, and ever since they stopped making the NCAA football games, and I turned more to Madden, I slowly started to stop paying too much attention or watching college football games. Or I mean, I still keep up with the players, keep up with the draft, uh, but as far as like watching all the games and even having a favorite team, I really don't have a favorite college football team. I do and I don't. But I'm happy that we no longer have to deal with the Madden baby back BS. We have another option here in college football 25. Now, if you peeped the screen, our first team, our first college, our first school that we are going to be rebuilding is USF. Now, USF, the Bulls, they are, I would say, the least Florida team that I have any interest in. Now, in my family, we have Seminole fans, we have Miami Hurricane fans. I consider myself really a Gator fan, root for UCF. So USF is kind of last on that list. Now, I know people I have that go to school or I went to school. Uh, I've been to graduations, at the school, and I kid you not, it's literally right down the street from me, probably like 10 minutes away, 15, 20 minutes away. So it is local. So I said, why not? Let's use the Bulls as our first team here in college football 25 that we're going to rebuild. So with all that being said, let's waste no more time and let's meet the team, the roster, the squad here in year one before the preseason starts. So on top of the roster at quarterback, we have Byram Brown, the sophomore scrambler type, former two-star high school recruit. He is going to be our starting quarterback for this season and a couple more seasons after that. Now under him, we have Israel Carter, the freshman redshirt, Bryce Archie, the sophomore redshirt, and then we have Marcellus Tate, the rookie or freshman. Got to get used to saying freshman and not rookie. Basically, same thing. At running back, we have two seniors. We have Teron Keith and we have Kelly Joyner. And then we have the junior Kwan Powell. We have Jalen Johnson, Chris Lamb, Javante Ship, and then we have Alvin Isaac, who really, he's the only one with impact dev trait when it comes to the running back position. At fullback, we have no fullback. But at wide receiver, one of our best players on the team, we have Sean Atkins. He has that star there right under the USF logo. Sean Atkins, the senior out of Central Florida, who's a former one-star high school recruit, and he's one of the best players, and I think the highest rated player on the team. So we're going to have to try to replace him once he does graduate or enter the NFL draft. And then we have some more seniors under him. We have Naheem Simmons, we have Abdul Rahman Yassin, we have Michael Brown Stevens, Jaden Alexis, the junior. We have Jaquan Smith, who's one of the fastest players, probably the fastest player on the team, the redshirt freshman. I'm going to try to develop him. And we have Joshua Cobbs, Tyree Kelly, Brandon Witten, and then we have Joshua Porter. At tight end, we have Peyton Singletary, the senior, and then we have Weston Wolf, the junior, and we have Gunnar Greenwald, Jonathan Eccles, and then Trey Dubuck. Left tackle, we have R.J. Perry, Sean McMillan, Ramon Lennon, Gannon Lanning, and then at guard we have Cole Skinner, Kid Foyle, James Jenkins, Mike Lofton, Cole Best, Zane Herring, Deontay Bowie, Adam Fords, Derek Bowman, Junior Ezebu, Nicolo Milovac, and then at left end on the defense we have Jason Vaughn, we have Michael Williams II, Mikey Baker, Denelson Exum, and Clyde McKinney, and then we have DJ Harris, Jalen Pettis, Bernard Gooden, we have Channelson Exum, who I think is the brother of Denelson. Their names are similar. They're both from Miami. So put two and two together. And you have Ashton Mosley. At defensive tackle, we have Rashad Shaney, who is the senior defensive tackle. We have Doug Blue Eli, who's also a junior defensive tackle. Hickman, the other senior defensive tackle. And then we have Decarius Hawthorne and Jaquez Williams. At left outside linebacker, we only have one. We have the freshman Xavier Hamilton, who does have impact dev trait. And we have a couple of players. I don't think we have any star dev traits or any elites, but we do have a couple of impacts, and then we have a lot of normal devs. But we have Mac Harris at middle linebacker, the senior. We have DJ Gordon at middle linebacker, the senior. We have Hunter Todd, and then we have Rodney Hill, the freshman. And then on the right side, we have Jalen Schuler at right outside linebacker, who has a star. And this will be his final season at USF. We have Jamie Petway. We have Byron Waller. And at corner, Amaris Brown, our best cornerback on the team. He is a senior. And that's the thing about, college football opposed to Madden. We don't have these players under contract for years and years and years. At most, we get them for 5 years if you redshirt. But typically 4 years. And then we have to recruit. We have to, replace them. And then we also get, a lot of depth on the team. I know we love our 4 or 5 corners. But at second corner, we have Taven Ward, we have Deshaun Rucker, Brent Austin, Martin Hurst, Jarvis Lee, Juan Bowden, Ben Knox, Kendall Malone, Hakeem Tony. Man, that's a lot of names we got on this team. I really don't have to go through everybody, but this is the first one. So I'm trying to recognize, all the players. Appreciate all the players. But we got Logan Berryhill at free safety, DeMarco Augustin, Kajon Banks, Kendrick Brown, Kenya Cobb, Jalen Stokes, Taquan McCoy, Tafik Bayard, John Cannon. At kicker, we also have Nico Grammatica. And then at punter, we have Andrew Stokes. So that is the roster. I'll show you guys what I did with the depth chart and who will be playing. So our starting quarterback, Byron Brown, he's QB1. We have the freshman redshirt Israel Carter over Bryce Archie. When I started the dynasty up, he's actually one of the players like on the risk of transfer because of playing time. And Carter is already a little bit on the same level as him he's a sophomore. He's a sophomore redshirt, so kind of like a junior. So Carter's already has a higher ceiling than Archie. So putting Archie at third quarterback. If he wants to transfer, be my guest. Go ahead and transfer next year. And then we have the rookie Marcellus Tate down on the depth chart, but we'll go over the red shirts after the depth chart. We got Keith and Joyner, running backs 1 and 2. Greenwald, our third tight end at fullback because we don't have a traditional fullback. Atkins, Simmons, you're seeing, most of the seniors are going to be starting, but we are going to try to develop Jaquan Smith. We're going to be using him for special teams. At tight end, we have Singletary, Wolf, and Greenwald. Left tackle, we have, this is messed up, it should be RJ Perry over Lennon. Thank God I went over this. We have Ezebu, who's the other senior right tackle, but he does have impact dev, and our left guards are kind of, they're all normal dev, kind of outside of Jenkins, who's a low 69 overall. But we're going to go with Ezebu, the senior, and then at center we got Mike Lofton. Right guard, we have Herring, and then right tackle, we have Derek Bowman. On the defensive side, we're going to have Vaughn starting. We're going to have Gooden. I pushed him up the depth chart because he's a junior. Harris is a junior. Pettis is a sophomore. But Gooden is the only one with impact dev. And, them both being juniors, I'd rather go with the impact dev over the normal. In terms, of Madden, impact is like star. Star is like superstar. And elite is like X Factor. And then normal is your normal boring depth trait. But defensive tackle, we got Cheney, we got Blue Eli, and then left outside linebacker, we have Petway, because freshman Hamilton, he was the only left outside linebacker listed on the roster. Then we have Harrison Gordon, the two senior middle linebackers, and we got Schuler on the right, and then Brown, Rucker, Ward at corner. Barry Hill, free safety. We're going with him, 6'4", almost 200 pounds. Got some speed on him. I'm going with him as a starter for this year. He's the senior, but Banks will be our starter next year. He does have impact dev, while Barry Hill does have normal. But I like the size of Barry Hill. And then Stokes, Jalen Stokes, our junior safety. He is going to be the starter at safety. And the kicker, we're gonna go with Grammatica. He is a freshman. Cannon is a junior. They have the same overall. Grammatica, he's another risk of transfer right now because of brand exposure. So I feel like if we get him on the field, give him some playing time, put the spotlight on him, that brand exposure should go down, and he should be our kicker of the future. And we have Stokes, the senior punter, and our special teams will be Smith and Joyner. And then punt return will be Alexis and Lee. Now, Jarvis Lee, didn't mention him. He's a cornerback, buried on our depth chart as a sophomore, but he does have the impact dev trait. And then our kickoff start, we're going to use the other kicker, Cannon. And then slot receivers, rush-ins will be our starters, Schuler, Petway. D-tackle will be the D-tackles. Linebackers will be the linebackers. And then slot corner will be the cornerbacks. But now going over the red shirts, we are going to red shirt some of these players, starting with the quarterbacks. I thought about Tate. I wasn't going to, because we're really not going to. We got Brown, who's a sophomore. We have Archie, who's a sophomore, who could transfer. We got, Carter. Do I really need the red shirt Marcellus Tate? Probably not, especially we have other recruits, like other quarterbacks coming in. But why not? I'm going to red shirt him. He's not going to play this year. Running back, I am going to red shirt Isaac. Now, he is the only running back out of this entire group that has impact dev trait, and he has a lot of speed on him, kind of like the wide receiver Smith that we have. So I want to red shirt Isaac, and with Keith and Joyner, they'll be graduating. We can move Isaac up the depth chart next year in his red shirt freshman year, which would be his sophomore year. We don't have a fullback at receiver. I'm going to red shirt Brandon Witten. He does have impact dev, so we're gonna red shirt him. And maybe Porter. Not really. I don't think we're going to do Porter. Tight end, we are going to redshirt Jonathan Eccles. He does have impact dev. And then with Singletary, Greenwald, they'll be graduating. And then he can compete with Wolf or learn under Wolf when Wolf is a senior for next season. At left tackle, we have, not going to redshirt sophomores. I think we have a guard. We had a guard somewhere. Where is he? Jenkins. Oh, he's not a freshman. He's a freshman red shirt. We're gonna red shirt Exum, and we're gonna do his brother, and then we'll do Mosley. I don't think we need to do. Maybe we could do McKinney. I don't think I'm gonna do McKinney. No defensive tackles. Hamilton. We're not, because he is the only left outside linebacker we got on the roster. But we are going to do Rodney Hill. Now, Rodney Hill, he's another one of those players, fringe 70 overall, that does have impact dev. He gets to learn from these three senior linebackers. And then at corner, we could do these two down here, but I don't think I'm going to. Maybe we should. I don't know about those corners. We could do Grammatica too, but I want to get him on the field. So the last red shirts would be these two corners, Malone and Tony. I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm going to just keep them the way they are. But that'll do it for our red shirt players. Now, looking at the coach contract, they usually show you this when you first go into or start up a dynasty. We have a 2-year contract. We just chose the head coach, Mark Cook, but he's a good recruiter, level 23. Now, the goal for this season, we have to win 7 games. Now, if Mark Cook does not do that, or doesn't fulfill the contract, we know somebody that can come in and step in and be a head coach and take over. But that is the coach contract that we have starting with them. And then preseason, we don't really the top 25 teams in the game. We know the all preseason All Americans. But going to the recruiting board, I did this off screen because this can get a bit, tedious. So I went before I started recording. We put all the recruits that we were interested in. I even went as far ahead as scouting them and offering them scholarships. I was about to say contracts, offering them scholarships. So we went and did all of that. Now, how I set this up was we looked at the 5-star recruits first. I'll go to the prospect list. I went to any state and we did, the 5 stars, and then we looked at a couple of 4 stars. Now, you don't want to, put all 5-star, 4-star recruits because you're gonna have to recruit, some you're gonna have to get some 3-star, 2-star, maybe even 1-star, to fill out, just to have a recruiting class because you're gonna go in the next season with your roster looking real slim. But the way that I have it organized, going back to the recruiting board, we have our 5 stars, 4 stars. We did a couple of those, and then it goes from 3 to 2-star, and I don't do any 1-stars. And if you notice, I only have 25. You can have 35 targets, but I want to open up some of those spots because when you go over here to the offers later on in the recruiting process, you can look at some players that maybe not have an offer and bring in some of those late recruits and steal them, from the other schools. So that is my strategy with that. But we've offered the first 15 contracts. I don't want to use up all the hours. We only have 60 left. But these other guys who we didn't scout yet or didn't offer a scholarship to, you see we're in their top 3, top 2, at least top 5. Except this guy Jewel here. Interest is 6. And then the last guy, 7th. But they should be fine. We should be able to get them. But those are all our recruits. Looking at the custom schedules, I didn't change anything because this is year 1. But if there's a team that's just getting on my nerves, they're beating us every year, I'm going to put them on the schedule. I'm going to put them on our hit list, and we're going to come after them. But we're going to leave the schedule the same, and we're going to get ready to simulate the preseason. As you see the candidates for the Heisman. And see, there is our risk of transfers. You got Archie, the sophomore quarterback, and then you got a running back Ship, and then the other players, because of brand exposure, you have Jaden Alexis, who's probably going to be our wide receiver 1 next year. Banks, who's supposed to be our starting safety next year. Grammatica, who we're starting at kicker as a freshman. So we have to bring some of those down. Actually, I want to go back to the recruiting board and go to the school. I was going to try to get some guys in the transfer portal late in the recruiting process, but looking at our school, 81 overall, 81 offense, 82 defense. They're in the American Conference. But we have some D's here. We got championship contender, program tradition, stadium atmosphere, coach stability, coach prestige. All those we're going to try to bring up. They are 1.5 team prestige. And we're going to try to get them to 5. Try to get ranked, trying to win some national championships. But we do have a bye week, and we're going to go back into recruiting, and we should be able, to add some actions now. So for Fogg, the 5-star, and when you look at this list, I found some gems. Look at this. The athlete, gem. Defensive tackle, gem. Free safety, gem. Got a right tackle, gem. D tackle, gem. Look at all these gems, bro. Another athlete, a right end, left guard. No bust. But going back to recruiting, we can add some of these actions now. So then with Fogg, we'll go and send the house. Gaffney, athlete, we will send the house. D tackle, same thing, gonna send the house. Wide receiver, 4-star, He has an interest, so we're gonna sit in the house. Now, as running back, we're third or fourth, second, third. We don't have to really do anything right now with them. Um, who was a Jim though? Is this free safety? So with the free safety, for right now, I'm gonna contact friends and family. Same thing with this Jim right tackle. Gonna contact friends and family. And then all these other guys are first place, so I don't have to touch them. We're gonna save some of those hours. The safety though, we didn't even scout him, so I'll use him. Scout. He does have some mentals. I would offer him a scholarship. Just like DM him. Do this center. Fan favorite. Yeah, offer him. Won't do any action. And then this guy, because he's 6. Uh, nothing. So I'm not even gonna offer him a scholarship. And I probably should just scout the rest of these other dudes that are on the list. Actually, we're getting low on hours, so we're not gonna scout them right now. We're gonna simulate at least to the first game. But you have to check your recruiting every week, or you're gonna miss out on some top recruits. So looking at the risk of transfers, I think those stay the same because we haven't played the game yet. So FCS Southeast Pandas, they are our first game. We're at home, should be able to win this game. And then looking at this, 4th, 3rd, 5th, 4th. So we should be good with those. I do want to finish scouting the rest of this list. So we do need a punter. Our punter is a senior. So we're going to need a punter for next year. He has the clear-headed mental. He is not a gem. So that right there is supposed to be a bust, but there are some good quote-unquote busts. So I still would, I mean, he's a punter. Search his social media. Offer him a scholarship. We don't have that many hours. So another hidden gem week, bro. Madden, DraftKings, college football, Gem King. So we are gonna, he's a 3-star. We'll contact friends and family, offer him a scholarship, and then we'll save those 20 hours, let them roll over until the next week. But our first game, simulate, see if we can get the dub over FCS. Was it Southeast, something like that. So we do get the win. Start the season 1-0. Oh man, we know we getting the L. No, we taking the L at Alabama. But 21-14. And it was a TV game. We're on TV. But Brown, 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, really efficient, 26 of 30. Keith, 44 yards and a touchdown. He did fumble. And then Simmons, 9 catches, almost a $120. Atkins with the touchdown. Yassine with the touchdown. Singletary, the tight end, had 4 catches. On the defensive side, we had a sack for Jason Vaughn, the senior. No interceptions, no field goals from Grammatica. Why was Cannon kicking the extra pointers? Grammatica is supposed to be my starter. But we barely beat them, and now we got Alabama. So that is concerning. But did they change my kicker? Did they reset my depth chart because of the red shirts? I swear if they did that, bro. Please tell me they didn't do that. And they did. All right, so quickly going over the depth chart. Receivers should be the same. Tight end should be the same. It's really the offensive line. So, it's annoying. So left tackle. So we're going to switch this up. Right tackle should be Bowman. Left tackle should be Perry. The left guard should be the other right tackle, Uzabu. with center should be Lofton. So now I'm probably gonna have to do the red shirt first before I do the depth chart. So glad we know that. Where's our left guard, Jenkins? So he was the third center. Right guard should be Herring. And then I think the other position was defensive end. Gooden was our starter over Harris. And then everything else, left outside linebacker, that was another one. So they have Schuler on that side. Come on, this is so annoying. Let's put the freshman there for now. Put Schuler back on the right side. Petaway will be on the left. And then corners, we should be set. Free safety, we should be set. We have Banks as the backup, and then strong safety, yada yada. Grammatica should be the kicker. Kick return, even this was changed. So we had Jaden Alexis and Smith, or it was Smith and somebody else. It was Jaden. Don't even remember. Don't even remember. I know the punt returners. One was Lee, the corner. We'll just take Atkins out. So Alexis and Lee. Who was the other kick returner, man? It was Smith and Joyner. Kickoff start was Cannon, the other kicker. And then all these other ones really don't matter. I mean, Schuler, defensive end. I think the only one was over here, they have Vaughn, but it was Gooden. And can't believe they changed this. D tackle, linebackers, corners. I know sub corner we had. We took Austin off, and then we put Lee up there to get him in. I'm trying to get all of our young impact players, if they're not redshirted, or not even, impact players, if they're not freshmen and redshirted, we're trying to get them on the field. Now we have Alabama. I have to go back into the recruiting. Second, first, third, second, third, first, second. I do want to finish scouting the rest of the list, though, before we, schedule any visits. So go in here, scout this receiver. 5'6". That's one of the shortest receivers I've ever seen. So I think I would DM him. I would offer him a scholarship. Another punter. Now, the other punter didn't have anything special going on with him. And this one does. He's a hidden gem, 6'5", 200 pounds, out of Tampa. So, hometown. I would probably send the house to him. We don't have enough hours for it. Let me offer him a scholarship first. But we're out of hours. We're real low on hours. Now let's take this loss to Alabama. Could pull off the upset. Don't think it's going to happen. And let's see. Jaden Alexis. Banks. Harris. Grammatica. So we do lose to Alabama, but how bad did we lose to Alabama? 35-17. Jalen Milroe, 3 touchdowns on us. But Brown, touchdown, pick, 3 sacks. He was still efficient, though. We could not run the ball. Joyner did have a rushing touchdown. Yassine with the receiving touchdown. 2 sacks given up from one of the linemen. And then we had a sack from Bernard Gooden. And then we had no picks. Grammatica makes a field goal. And we are now 1-1 because we had to play Alabama. Going back to recruiting, we got Southern Miss. They're 0-2. We should be able to win that game on the road. I think Fogg. We already said no. We can't schedule a visit yet. So all these guys, we're doing okay with the recruiting. Now we just got locked out from this JUCO. Paul Shelby, defensive tackle. So I mean that's fine. You're not gonna be able to get every single person. So, but this receiver, Jeff Hand, See if he actually has hands with his catching attributes. He does have recruit, so I would just offer him a scholarship. Emmett Thomas, nothing. And Blair Redfield has some mental abilities, so we are going to offer him a scholarship, and then we are low with 20 hours again for the recruiting. Now we have our third game against Southern Miss. See if we can bounce back from that loss to Alabama. And we do. We win. We're now 2-1. Need to get that brand exposure down from that D. And we got 3-0 Miami. 23-21. So we're barely beating these teams that we should be smoking. And look what their quarterback did. 3 touchdowns, but Brown, a touchdown, no interception. 100 yards on the ground from Brown because we can't run the ball with our running backs. Yassine, 72 yards and a touchdown. We have Emmanuel Hickman, the senior defensive tackle with a sack, and then the other senior defensive tackle, Cheney, with a sack, and then Barry Hill, our free safety, and then 5 of 5 with a 50-yarder from Grammatical, who says that college kickers can't make the kicks. Kickers matter here in college football. But we got 3-0, undefeated, 17th ranked Miami. Go back to the recruiting board, and we're first, third. Now, third on this guy's list. We can now schedule a visit. Now, you gotta be careful with these visits. I didn't notice this before, but you have the complimentary visits. You have the competitive visits. You got the influence and the loss. If you don't win a game or lose a game or whatever. But we're gonna have this 4-star defensive tackle visit probably week 7 against Memphis. They're 1-2. Bye week wouldn't do anything. So yeah, we're gonna have him visit week 7, and then we're gonna do proximity to home if I can find it. Yeah, family visit. So line that up. The running back, did we offer him? Yeah, offer him a scholarship. Let's contact his friends and family. I forgot about the hours. This is why you don't want to spend too much time or too many hours on everybody. Did we scout him? Yeah, he had nothing. Yeah, so I think we got everybody. Yeah, we got everybody scouted. So we'll save those little 35 hours. Simulate against Miami. Now we're at home, so we could win this game. Could pull off the upset. And we don't. Fall to 2-2. Goal is to win 7 wins. But how bad did we lose to Miami? As long as we kept it close, I'm good with that. And it was not even close. They beat us worse than Alabama beat us. Cameron Ward with 3 touchdowns because the Brown did not play bad. It was the offensive line giving up 6 sacks, not protecting the quarterback. We cannot run the ball with Kelly Joyner. Our quarterback, Brown, has to do all the work on the ground. And then Yassine with another touchdown. Joyner, though, getting a receiving touchdown because he couldn't run. Perry, we have the right tackle playing at guard, the left tackle, giving up 4 sacks. Ezebu, the right tackle, playing at guard, giving up 2. And then we had no sacks, no pressure from the defense, but we had an interception from Amaris Brown. And Grammatica misses a field goal, and 1 gets blocked. So really only missed 1. Wasn't going to help us win in any way. But we are winning when it comes to recruiting. We have this 5-star corner, number 1 on the list. Nebraska, I think that is, right under us. But we have a good lead. This athlete who's like a running back, I think that's his first choice for position. The defensive tackle, we're flying him out week 7 against Memphis. All these other guys, we're in the top 3 of everybody. I think outside of, what the hell? Verbally committed to Miami already because they beat us. He waited for them to beat us, and then he's like, all right, I'm going to Miami. F USF. But, yeah, this linebacker is the only one that are probably not going to be in his final picks. We got Toledo. They're 1-3 on the road. And we lose to them. That was a bad loss right there. That was a bad loss. 15-8, man. 15-8. I wonder, is it the playbook? Is it the veer and shoot offense? The 4-2-5 defense? Hickman, Schuler, both with sacks, and then Schuler got the interception. Harris got the interception. Grammatica making his field goals this week in that game. But we fall to 2-3. Only thing we can do right now is recruit. Still first on the list for our 5-star, 4-star. And another Miami. How is Miami coming in just stealing players like this, bro? And didn't we have a scheduled visit with him for week 7? Yeah, we did. And he's visiting Miami week 13, Gators week 8. They just come in and just swoop them away like that. Florida took a defensive tackle from us. All right, we might have to start. Okay, let's do this. We're still first on the list. I'm gonna try to. I don't even know if we can beat any of these teams though. That might be risky. We're not gonna touch Fogg. I'm not gonna fly him out for a visit because offer this guy a contract. Add that. Yeah, we're gonna leave everybody else because I would hate to fly him out and then we lose that same week and then we miss out on a 5-star recruit. So another thing I noticed that it's doing, it's not showing us. It usually shows us after the week you simulate the game. Why isn't it showing me the recruits? Is that a glitch after the patch? It usually does show like the recruiting board and like an update on it, but it hasn't been doing that. But we're still first on those 2 guys. Now Hayden, the 4-star receiver, Miami, bro. What is up with Miami stealing all of our damn players? We could try to do a hard sell. Let's see what happens if I remove send the house. Do a hard sell, and let's do team player. UCF, got FAU. Bro, are we gonna get any recruits? So we lose another game, bro. Another game. I don't even remember who we just played. Memphis. 29-14. So that defensive tackle must have knew something that we didn't know about Seth Hennigan. 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Brown played better. 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Brown is our leading rusher. Joyner. Yassine is the only receiver getting all the touchdowns. Atkins, he gets 1 too. And then we have half a sack from our corner and our defensive tackle. We had no interceptions, no field goals made, a couple of punts, two inside the 20, and we are 2-4. We're having players stolen from us left and right. Now we're second. All right, we're gonna have to. I probably should have. Can't schedule. I mean, we can do week 13, but by then he might already recruit, or he might already commit to Florida. So we're gonna have to probably try to sell at the last minute. If we were winning games, this would go a lot better. All right, so playing time and pro potential, and then brand exposure. Now that has a question mark. It does not have an X. So I mean, our grade is a D plus. Pro potential is a C. Oh, this might not go well, but we got no choice. We have no choice. We'll schedule a visit with this receiver for a week. We can't do that one either. We could only do week 11. So we'll do proximity to home. We have an A grade for that. And I don't have enough hours, damn it. We'll DM him. And then we will simulate against UAB. Probably going to lose to them. Fall to 2-5. But we need to win. Need to at least get back to 500. And we win that game. So right now we're 10th in the American Conference. And Deshaun Rucker, 5 tackles. He is your American Defensive Player of the Week. And he got that without getting any interceptions. But another close game, 16-14. We just edged them out. We had 1 touchdown, 1 pick for Byron Brown. He also got sacked twice. Joyner, finally, 17 carries, 95 yards, averaged 5.6 per carry, 3 broken tackles. Longest rush was 30 yards. He had 2 plus 20. Touchdown for Naeem Simmons. We had a sack and a half for Cheney, a half a sack for Ward. We had no interceptions. Grammatica made his field goals, and we are now 3-4. That was a big win. We needed to get off that losing streak. Saw the player of the week, and looking at the recruiting, I mean, he went to the Gators. Miami, they've been stealing all our players. They stole the wide receiver. We tried to do a sell. But we could still get this running back. We could get this free safety. We have friends and family. So I think I'm going to remove the friends and family. And I'm going to send the house. Now we're first on. We'll do DM him. Contact friends and family. And I just noticed I haven't done any actions for some of these players. We sent the house on Mama. This punter, 6'5". Did I offer him a scholarship? I did. We will DM him. The other punter. Sending the house for him. 6'5", hidden gem punter. We do have a bye week. And then going into week 9. And it's not 17 game season like Madden or the NFL. But you do have your bowl games. You do have the college football playoffs. FAU, you stole one of our recruits. So we're going to try to beat them. And looking at the recruiting board, do we have our first commit? We still do not. The free safety fell out of the top spot. We're still top 3. Still top three. Still have some guys in first place. And we don't have a lot of hours either. Been struggling with that. But we got FAU, 3 and 4. Battles of the 3 and 4. Something has to give. And we're going to give up another loss, or we're going to get the win, and we give up another loss. Our brand exposure is still at a D plus. And now we got Navy. But 31-28, another close loss, lost by a field goal. Hope Grammatica made the field goal, but Brown, 2 interceptions. Joyner is running the ball a little bit better. Simmons, our wide receiver, had 2 rushing touchdowns because we can't run the ball with our running backs. Singletary, the tight end, he hasn't been used because I think in the veer and shoot for USF, they use very few backs, very few tight ends, and then a lot of receivers. Defensive tackle, or Gooden, our defensive end, had a sack, and then our defensive tackle, Rashad Cheney, he had a sack. We had a pick with Jalen Stokes, our strong safety. No field goals missed. No special teams touchdowns, but we are now 3-5. We got Navy. We still don't have anybody that has committed to USF. We see FAU. We see Miami. We see Florida. But we do still have some guys in first place. We're still top 3 here, but it looks like the Seminoles are going to get Areza. Going to remove DM player. And we're going to send the house on because we do not have enough hours. Damn it. Soft sell. Still don't have enough hours. Guess we'll just DM him again. And we have to wait on everybody else. Now we do still have guys in first place. I don't know why they're not committing, bro. Maybe they want to see how the rest of our season is going to go. But we do win that game, 4-5. Now 4-5. 14-10. And we haven't had like a dominant victory yet, but 230 yards passing, 2 touchdowns for Byron Brown. Joyner, 16 yards rushing. Yassine with a touchdown. Brown Stevens with a touchdown. Sack given up from Perry. And then we had a sack for Cheney, a sack for Hickman, half a sack for Brown and Gordon. We had an interception from Mac Harris, and Grammatica misses a field goal. Come on, man. He's a freshman. He's a freshman. But getting his brand out there. We got Charlotte, 5-4. Back to recruiting. And North Carolina comes in and steals the athlete. Still have some guys in first place. But have yet to get someone to sign or commit. And we are now 5-5. And Byron Brown gets your American Offensive Player of the Week. 311 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Big game from him as we are now 5-5, back at 500. 2 wins away from our goal of 7 wins. 34-28. And there you had 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. 112 rushing yards. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong team. Charlotte. 3 touchdowns for Brown, and then rushing. Byron Brown, 91 yards and a touchdown, 42 from Teron Keith. Atkins, 125 on 5 catches and a touchdown. Yassine with the touchdown. Simmons with a TD. And then sacks, we had a sack and a half for Gooden, Schuler, Hickman, Vaughn, a pick for Amaris Brown, Grammatica, missing some more field goals. But we are now 5-5. Do we have someone committing? I don't know if this is a glitch or what. We're just not getting anybody yet. Top five or second. Come on, first, man. You should be signing. Hey, we got one. The punter. The gym. Let's go. Clyde Murphy will be our new starting punter next season. But that is just sad that our first commit and only one is a punter. We got Tulsa 3-7. This is our chance to go over 500, get our sixth win of the season. And we do. We are now ninth in the American Conference. Teron Keith, 22 carries, 128 and 2 touchdowns. Finally have a big day running the ball. 45, 29. Brown, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Saw Keith had a big game. Touchdown for Brown. He's been doing really good on the ground. Keith also with a receiving touchdown, 2 touchdowns from our wide receiver Simmons. And then we had a sack from Schuler, DeMarcus Hawthorne with a sack, half a sack for Amaris Brown with the interception, Hickman with a half a sack, and then Kicking Grammatica made his field goals. And we are now 1 win away from getting 7 wins, from keeping the job secure of the coach. We got Rice 7-4. And we need some more commits. We've been locked out from Jewel. Can we beat Rice? We don't. Fall to 6-6. I think that was the last game of the season. Or we might have one more. No, Rice was, and they blew us. They almost dropped 50 on us. 42, 5 touchdowns from E.J. Warner, no touchdowns from Byron Brown. 56 rushing yards for Byron Brown. Keith with a touchdown. And Yassine, 40 yards. But none of our receivers really did anything in that game. 2 sacks from Hawthorne, no interceptions. Grammatica made his field goals. But we go 6-6, right at 500. See what's happening in recruiting. Hey, we get another one. Our athlete, Scrambler, 6'4", 199 out of Bradenton, Florida. Marvin Mama. Mama, there goes that man. We get another one. Nick Willie, hitting Jim, defensive end. And then we got the punter. And then we still have some first guys down there. But I don't know why it's not showing their top list after every week. Maybe that's glitched out. But I thought it just wasn't giving us no commits at all, but it still is. So despite not showing that list, we are still getting, we'll look at the stats after the bowl games, because they're going to add the stats from the bowl games and the playoffs to the, there it is. Why wasn't showing that before? Just talking about it, just talked it up. So advance into the conference championships. Cameron Ward, quarterback from Miami, the senior, wins your 2024 Heisman Trophy. He had 3,775 yards, 35 touchdowns, 4 INTs. Hey, we're in the Arizona Bowl against Hawaii, so we get a bowl game. And we're not even going to entertain the job offers. We have the early national signing day. So we are going to look at that, look at all the people that signed. And look at all the Miami signs. But we're going to look at USF. So we got Doug Burden, defensive tackle, Jim, Mama, the athlete, probably gonna move him to quarterback. Jim, we got Willie, defensive end. Jim, punter Clyde Murphy. Jim, and then we should be able to get Hand, Redfield, and Rizzo. Now this is where you go over here and you look at people that don't have any offers, right? So, I mean, no offers for a middle linebacker. Now, look at this. This middle linebacker, Easton Fleming, right? Pipeline level 1, Georgia. Not interested in us at all. But he does not have any offers. So if we swoop in and offer him, we could potentially get him. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put him on there, even though we don't have any hours right now. 0 out of 0. But we're going to simulate. And it is the bowl game against Hawaii. And let's look at the job offers. Phone, head coaching jobs, but this is the USF rebuild, so we're not gonna move any schools. But we got 6-6 USF, 6-6 Hawaii, Arizona Bowl. Can we win our first bowl game here in year 1? And we don't. But Decarius Hawthorne, our defensive tackle, 2 sacks, 4 TFLs, 1 TFL, American Defensive Player of the Week. And Yassine, 6 catches, 89 yards, 2 touchdowns, American Offensive Player of the Week. Didn't get no National Player of the Week, though. Now that our season is over after losing that bowl game, do want to check out what happened in that bowl game against Hawaii. 31-25. Real close. 3 touchdowns from that quarterback, 3 touchdowns from Byron Brown. Did throw an interception. That could have been the crucial pick. We just can't run the ball. Receiving, 2 touchdowns from Yassine. We saw the play of the week. Atkins finishes his senior career, 6 catches, 50 yards, and a touchdown. 2 sacks from Hawthorne. Hickman had 1. Harris and Vaughn had half. And then Grammatica had another field goal that was blocked. But looking at our stats for the season, we had almost 3,000 passing yards for Byron Brown, 21 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, 68 completion percentage, almost 218 passing yards per game. Braden was really good. He got sacked 32 times. Rushing, our quarterback was our leading rusher. 576 yards, 5 touchdowns. Joyner, 348, under 4 yards per carry, 1 touchdown. Keith had 4 touchdowns. Unacceptable rushing numbers. Receiving, Yassine, 9 touchdowns, 800 yards, 70 catches. Atkins, 45, almost 604. And then Simmons, 40, almost 560 or 570 and 5. Tight end, didn't get no touchdowns at all. Blocking, our tackles gave up the most. Our interior offensive lineman, though, well, I lied, because even though Ezebu, he's listed as a right tackle, he was playing left guard for us. So, yeah, the offensive line as a group was bad. Not bad, they were average, probably a little below average. And then 76 tackles for the senior linebacker, Gordon. We had 5 sacks from 3 different players. All defensive tackles, too. And they're all seniors. And then we had 3 picks for Amaris Brown. He finishes his senior year. And then kicking, we missed 5 from Grammatica. 2 were blocked, so he really only missed 3. He did miss an extra pointer. So, okay, rookie year kicking for him. And 12 punts inside the 20. Our longest punt was 64 yards. And we had no special teams touchdowns or returns. Going over the award winners, I don't think we're going to have any. Cameron Ward is your player of the year or Heisman. Head coach of the year goes to Pat Stovall. Do we have any? Nope. Best quarterback, Cameron Ward. Best defensive player is going to go to Jordan Birch out of Oregon. No USF Bulls. Best defensive back, Desmond from Rutgers. No USF Bulls. Running back, we're not going to have anybody. It's going to go to Ollie Gordon. Receiver, Cameron Perry. Lombardi Award, Jordan Birch. Golden Arm Award, Unitas Golden Arm Award, DJ from Florida State. Best defensive end, Jordan Birch. That's his third award. Interior offensive lineman, Donovan Jackson. Look at all those Ohio State and Alabama. Oscar Delp at tight end. We have Mike Walton for your defensive coordinator of the year from Utah. Seth Coleman was best linebacker for Illinois. Best center goes to Parker Brailsford from Alabama. And we're not going to have any. Brock Travelstead, kicker out of Louisville. And best punter, Maverick Jameson. Best returner, Zakarian Branch out of USC. And then player of the year was Cameron Ward. So no awards for us. Do we have any All-Americans? No All-Americans. So no All-Americans, no awards. We lose our bowl game. Got some recruits. Got some stolen from us. Might have some transfers coming up. And what is the national championship game? Just show top stories. Oklahoma and Ohio State. I'll be going for the Sooners. Pro potential went up to a B minus. Coach prestige, C minus. I think that was at a D. So again, 6 wins. And now players leaving. So we have Blue Eli, the junior defensive tackle, transferring. Rucker transferring. He was our slot corner. We're going to try to persuade him. Banks was going to be our starting free safety next season. Oh, man. Bolden, Lamb. I don't care about those guys, but I do care about Banks and Rucker. So medium persuasion chance. We're going to try to persuade him. He has decided to stay. That is my first successful persuasion to get somebody to stay. Now we're going to have to try to do the same thing with Banks. This is going to be tough. Brand exposure, D+. He's decided to stay. Let's go. You realize you're going to be starting next year. Rucker, you're already a starter. Come back. We're going to solve this. But we have some guys graduating and leading that graduation class. We got Schuler, our right outside linebacker. Cheney, our defensive tackle. Herring, our starting right guard. Our punter, Stokes. And then Amaris Brown, our corner. And all of our receivers, Simmons, Brown Stevens, Atkins, Keith, running back. There's Atkins right there. Joyner, the other running back. Barry Hill is our starting free safety. So a lot of our starters. Bowman at right tackle. A lot of guys graduating and leaving. How many will we have going into the draft? So here is the draft results. And we have Atkins going in the 7th round. Now, this is the only thing that doesn't make sense about, the players. I actually wish that it would show what team in the NFL drafted them. But for 87 overall wide receiver, who was our best player on our team, why is he going in the 7th round? I'm glad he got drafted. Glad he got taken by a team. Somebody representing the school onto the NFL. But 7th round? 7th round? I know Brady was a 6, 7 round pick. Brock Purdy, 7th round pick. But come on, man. 7th round? Going to the transfer portal. See if we can steal some players from some other schools because we had a lot of guys taken from us in the uh, recruiting process. So we'll look at guys that have high interest in us, and there is a running back out of Texas A&M, Amari Daniels, who would love to come over. Corner. So I think I'm gonna put him center. We need all these positions anyway. There's another center there from Georgia State. Right tackle, South Alabama. There's a left tackle, Jordan Davis. And we have hours now too. So, and I could get some of these guys off our board, just remove them. But just because they verbally committed, even though I know they signed, but if it was still verbally committed, they can change their mind late and actually sign with a different team. So Redfield, we should be able to get him. Rizzo, we should be able to get him. Now, where are these transfers? Fleming was that guy that had no offers that we added late to the board. And we're going to offer him a scholarship, 3-star linebacker. This transfer, don't really need to know his scouting, but I mean, we'll finish it because we already started. We are going to send the house. We're going to offer him a scholarship. Same thing with Zandamela. Send the house. Offer him a scholarship. Whitaker, send the house. Offer scholarship. And we forgot to do the last left tackle. But I know it isn't smart doing the send the house for everybody, using up most of the hours. But we're kind of desperate right now. We need people. We need players coming to USF to help us turn into a winning program. And hopefully get some of those guys out of the transfer portal. So we are now first place outside of the middle linebacker. He has interest from other school, but first place for all those guys. So I'm happy we can get all those transfers. We do have a great recruiting coach. So now Rizzo has reached his top 3 schools. We're in 2nd place. That was at 2-star center. And we are still in first place. So getting some of those guys out of the transfer portal will make up for the lack of recruits. So the running back Daniels is 2nd, Fleming is 2nd, everybody else still first. Everybody else still first. So we might have to go in and for that running back do who's ahead of us? UCF. See what would happen if we do a hard sell or try to sway even. Let's do playing style and let's try to get playing time because, yeah, we'll do that. We'll do time to get to work. See if we can sway him at the last minute. Change his mind. Don't want to go to UCF. Don't want to go to Central Florida. Come to South Florida. And now National Signing Day is upon us. We know all of these guys have already signed, so I think we got both punters because we got Murphy, so we get Cantu, who was not a gem, he was a bust, but still could be a good player. Uh, we got a wide receiver, the small one, 5'6". We get Hand, the 6'3" wide receiver with the hands. We get Redfield, two-star safety. Fleming is going to go to Syracuse. Daniels does go to UCF, but look at this. We get Zandamela, the transfer. We get Lionel Whitaker, the corner, transfer. We get another center, Will Larkins, transfer. And then we lose out on Carney. And then we get Jordan Davis, another transfer. So how many transfers? One, two, three, four. Four transfers. I like it. Going back to the recruiting, I do want to look at our class. Who was the top class in our ranking? Oregon. It's always Oregon when I do these dynasty. Where do we rank? So we're in the American, and we were 99th. Okay, so we had 12 total. No 5 stars, no 4 stars, but 11 3-stars, 1 2-star, and we got no 1 stars because we do not go after 1 stars. But for position changes, and I do want to look at this, we did not get that quarterback that was an athlete. The running back, though, Isaac. Now, our running back room is weak. So, I thought about, he is a receiving back. I thought about making him a receiver. So, we got a receiver. We got Jaden Alexis. We got Taquan Smith. We got Witten. We got Hand. And we got DeAndre Davey. Moving him to receiver, I think I'm going to do it. Moving him to receiver will make him a 70 overall deep threat. We're going to experiment with it. We're going to flex him out to receiver. Our running backs, I mean, y'all saw how we ran the ball last season anyway. Could have left him there, but now he becomes our wide receiver 2. And you put his speed with Jaquan Smith's speed, we got 2 fast receivers with Jaden Alexis. And then we still got the impact dev on Witten, and then we got the signing of Hand and Davey. Then at tight end, we got Eccles, who was redshirted last year. But these are position changes. This is not our depth chart. So looking at the position changes, see one of our transfers there in Larkins and Zandamela. But I think that is going to be our only, we don't have any athletes like that on the team. You saw that we got Banks back. He did not, and we got the cornerback. Was it Rucker? And we got Rucker back. Glad to have them 2 back in the backfield with our defensive backs. And we are now going to advance from the National Signing Day. And look at the training results. Love the progression. I love developing the players. But Brown is up to an 85. Got Waller up to an 80. And, whoa, is that Isaac? The 65 overall running back that we redshirted, we move him to wide receiver, goes to a 70, and in training is at an 83. So if you do 83 minus 65, and I'm really good at math, 18-point change from the 65, well, if you want to be technical, the 70 overall when we moved the receiver to 83, so up 13 points. But what a jump. What a jump. We just made a wide receiver 1 just like that. That is insane. Did anybody else have that type of jump? I mean, Tate went up 3 points. Probably should encourage Archie to transfer. 83. Even Porter had a big jump. but we're probably gonna play Smith over him. Tyree Kelly, Witten had a good progression. Receivers developing. Eccles is gonna be our starting tight end. Our lineman, Davis was the transfer, but McMillan is a 75 sophomore. We might go with McMillan. I'm digging some of these players developing. Now, Gooden didn't take the jump that I thought he would with the impact dev trait that he has. We are weak at defensive tackle, but we got that freshman coming in at a 70. Hamilton, Hill with a big jump. He was a 69. He's up to a 76, playing up to a 78. Thanks up to a 78, 79 for McCoy. He has surpassed Jalen Stokes. And then Cannon went up 77, and we got Grammatica. Cannon may be another guy we encourage to transfer, and we saw the two punters there. So we'll advance the week. But what a jump for Isaac, the running back turned receiver. And we are going to encourage some transfers. I think I am going to do, we had 65 on the roster. I think I'm going to do Archie, quarterback. Oh, and I forgot about Mama. He didn't show up on the list before, did he? Was he an athlete? We could have changed his position, right? Was he not there? Could have made him a running back or something. Anyway, regardless, we're going to get rid of Archie, encourage him to transfer. And then the other one was kicker, because we're going to go with Grammatica over John Cannon. So goodbye to both of those two young men. But it is now moving over. We're not going to do custom conferences. We're not going to upgrade the coach skills just yet. But now we should be going into the next season. Yeah, so it is the next season. But we go 6-7, get to a bowl game, lost the bowl game to Hawaii, and I wish they also had another thing they need to add. They need to add a league history so we can look at who won the national championship, who won all the bowl games. They don't have that, so I can't look back and see what bowl game that was. But we did lose to Hawaii. But 6-7, we got some recruits, we got some guys out of the transfer portal. What a jump with that position change from running back to wide receiver for Isaac. But I can't wait to see how this team improves in year 2. But that'll wrap it up for part 1 of the USF Bulls Realistic Rebuild here in College Football 25. Until the next episode.